Just outsmarted everyone, and I'm going to prove that to you. If you're new, you're a little confused. You're like, what's all this Detroit Lions stuff? We're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel covering the Houston Texans because it's a team that we had this channel. We kind of followed teams that kind of were the underdogs, and they were just a year ago, and we were all over them a year ago. And so if this is a little weird, hang in there and see if I can change your mind. Okay, remember the Houston Texans, they go out, they make a lot of really good free agent moves, a great trade. It's like, let's go, right? They're getting Stephon Diggs. And then before that, though, they made a weird trade with the Vikings and get rid of their first round pick. And they had a couple more picks, but it's like, man, I just don't like getting out of the first round, right? That's just, I don't like that. Well, I'm here to show you in this video that it was genius and it was absolutely the right thing to do because PFF has come out with their full draft guide. You got to pay for it, and it's an all encompassing. It just breaks down almost every prospect. And when you do that and kind of look deeper, you look at guys in the second round, third round, fourth round, and you see that this draft is just absolutely super deep. And when you have a super deep draft, get more picks. Then you can use those picks to make better trades and the whole thing that the Texans have done. So they added great free agents. They trade for Stephon Diggs. They add more picks. And let's take a look at it because as you can see, they're picking at 42. Right now it's got Peyton Willis. But as I went in here and I was just kind of looking around it's defensive linemen. Okay. Interior defensive lineman, Rook Arroyo Ho. I can't even say his name. It's like too many Orejos. Oreo. We're just calling him Oreo. Rook Oreo. Okay, 6'4", 300 pounds. But here's one example. So this guy is projected to go third round. Okay, so you don't know. It's like, oh boy, I don't have a first round pick. Okay, let's just take a look at this one example of a third round dude that you could get. Okay, 6'4", 300. Checks the box there. I'll kind of stop scrolling so you can look at these as well. See if I can zoom in even a little bit more. I can't. Sorry. Here's his strengths. I'll just go through a couple strengths and a couple weaknesses, and then we'll break down kind of PFF and where he lines up and how he can just really fit right into an NFL team. And again, this is a third round guy. So he's pound for pound, super strong. He's versatile. Weaknesses, he leans too much, sometimes struggle to disengage. He can't get through on some pass rushes. Okay, fine. His tackling's great. His versatility, his balance, his gap shooting. Okay, cool. Now, here's the one that I love. They take this like triangle. What shape is that? A diamond? They take a diamond here. And the more filled in the diamond is, the more complete player you are. Okay. So you see some guys like way skewed to the right or up in the right, left corner, right? This guy, now he's got to do something better on his run stopping. If his run stopping was better, he'd really fill this out. But he has the ability to be great in pass rush, great in defense run grade, and then his win percentages need to improve a little bit. But for the most part, this guy's doing, his metrics are great there. You go to the advanced data and you can kind of see, here's the one I love right here. It shows where he lined up in his PFF grade from that. So this dude is A gap is where he was really good, and the B gap. So inside the tackles. So if you put him inside the tackles, he's not going to be good over the tackle and definitely not like a straight up defensive end. His PFF grade is 77 and 73. So true D tackle. Okay, cool. His hand size, arm length, check, bench press, vertical jump, broad jump. Everything is past and towards the top guys there in that green line. So, bottom line, Oreo is a versatile defensive lineman who can be a high floor player at defensive end or defensive tackle, probably defensive tackle. However, he needs to develop technical pass rush moves to be more of a rotational player at the next level. You have a guy that, like I said, third round guy that you can pick up. Now, let's go take a look at another example. Logan Lee, defensive lineman out of Iowa. They're thinking that he's going to be early day 3 guy, so third, maybe fourth rounder. But he's one of those Iowa guys that, Iowa is so weird because they're so terrible. But they produce Sam Laporta, Lions guy. They got a tight end every year, a defensive lineman every year that's really good, and offensive linemen, but they're terrible. It's like, why are you terrible, Iowa? Be better. So that way I could trust the Iowa players, but forget it. Don't even look at where they're coming from. Just look at Logan Lee, 80 PFF, right? But what's the thing, right? If you're going to start getting the third, fourth round, you got something wrong with you. Is it not production? Is it size? He's a little on the light side at 281. Okay, so he puts on 10 pounds. My point is, if you're the Texans, and I just went through two players. I mean, you could do this all day. You can go through, and this is what Nick Caserio did. Hey, let's kind of take a look here. Man, I love the depth of this draft. I love getting more picks. I love then using those picks to get Stephon Diggs. I love knowing that we've got 2 seconds. We've got some future stuff. We're playing the long game as well as being aggressive now. I think that's another way he outsmarted the league. Was everybody for the most part is trying to win now, right? Like, let's be honest. There's a few teams, like the Lions were a team the last couple of years that were truly saying, hey, we're planning to play the long game, but everyone's trying to win now. But that's the true test. Can you win now, especially on CJ Stroud's rookie deal? You got 2 years to kind of just get aggressive and take big swings. But also, like, let's not be idiots here. Let's play for the long game. We got to build through the draft, knock it out of the park. And when you have drafts that are deeper than we think too, I think just in general, not even this year, but we all freak out, myself included, when you don't have a first round pick. It's like, oh boy, that's, you don't pick for 50 picks. That doesn't feel good. Other teams are just getting better, but you'll pick, you'll find guys. Like, don't panic. So if you're a Houston Texans fan, you've got really good players. You're going to add really good players. You got a great coach, and most importantly, you have a great quarterback. So take some swings. You did that. Like, if the Texans would have just played for the long game and not gotten any players this year, I mean, come on. No, they get Joe Mixon. They get Danielle Hunter. Love that guy. Played against him in the same division for the last however many years. I mean, looks like a DN that you made in a lab, and then just you have him on your team now. So if I'm a Texans fan, I love what the GM's doing, outsmarting everybody in the draft trade to give up the first round pick and pick up more picks that you can do more things with. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Hopefully, if you're new, you're like, oh, you know what? That wasn't bad. The guy kind of knows what he's talking about with the Texans. I kind of like it. Got a lot more to learn, but in general, yeah, loving the Texans, and we'll